Hi, my name is Kelsy with Nayana Yoga. Today we're going to be working on releasing your back pain. If you can't watch this video now, just make sure to save it and let's get started. We're going to start with some neck rolls. We're going to loosen up the shoulders. We're going to do some twists as well, and a little bit of plank to engage the core, because if you have back pain, then you want to strengthen the core. That will help to compensate for a weak back. Let's go ahead and place the chin down to the chest. Bring your head all the way over to your left side. Sweep it across your chest over to the right. I'm going to be mirroring you, so I'll be opposite. You don't want to take your head too far back, because then you start to pinch the cervical vertebrae. That's the top part of your spine. So just when you feel that stretch, you can stop right there. Keep your shoulders down away from your ears. You can root down through your sit bones, lengthen through your spine. And then inhale, you're going to draw your left arm up, bring it to the top of that right ear. Extend the other arm out to the side. The fingertips can be pointed down. If this is too much, you can just rest that right hand on your knee. Taking a deep breath. And exhale. One more breath. And exhale. Let go of that tension in your neck and your shoulders. Now we're moving to the other side. So take that right arm, reach up for the ceiling, and then to the top of that left ear. Extend the left fingertips out to the side, taking a deep breath. Make sure you're not collapsing forward. If you are, then you're going to press the head back in line with the shoulders. One more breath. And exhale. And release. We're going to roll the shoulders back. Let's roll them forward. Plant that right hand on the mat next to you. Inhale, take the left hand up, and then reach for the side as you exhale. Inhale up, and exhale to the other side. Inhale up, exhale, reach. Inhale up, exhale, reach. Inhale up, exhale, reach. Inhale up, exhale, reach. Go ahead and place both hands in front of you. You want them to be shoulder height. You're going to inhale, bring them up. Exhale, twist. Inhale up, exhale, twist. And now bring them all the way up to the ceiling. Inhale, bring your gaze up. Exhale, twist, and you're going to take that left hand, press it to the outside of your right knee, and twist to look behind you. So we're getting a deeper twist here. This is contraindicated if you're pregnant or if you have digestive issues, so just skip any of the twists. Continue to walk that hand that's behind you a little bit further. Deepen your gaze over the shoulder. And then inhale, reach up, and exhale, twist to the opposite side. You can keep that hand behind you cupped on the ground. Makes it a little bit easier to walk the fingertips so that you can deepen your gaze behind you. Then inhale, let's lift up. And exhale, release down. Place your hands on your knees. You're going to round the spine. Inhale, look up at the ceiling, and exhale, round. Inhale, up, and exhale, round. Inhale, up, and exhale, round. Now let's place the feet on the floor. Keep your ankles crossed. We're going to roll up onto our knees for cat-cow. So now that we're in cat-cow, and before we move on to the other poses, make sure that you have a couple blocks ready for the end of the session. You also want to have a strap. If you don't have a strap, you can use a belt, or you can use two long socks and then tie them together. So you can improvise with what you have. Another prop you might wish to have is a bolster or a firm pillow. We're going to use that at the end of the session. You want to have your knees directly underneath your hips, your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Inhale, bring your gaze up. Exhale, round the spine. You're going to press the palms into the mat. Inhale, look up. And exhale, round the spine. Inhale, up. Exhale, round. Inhale, up. Exhale, round. Inhale, up. And exhale, round the spine. And now we're going to go into some barrel rolls. So imagine you're on the inside of an imaginary barrel. You're scraping your belly across the bottom of it. You're rounding your spine to scrape your back across the top of that barrel. And just keep moving around in a clockwise direction. If you feel a good spot, if it feels good to stay there, just stay there. You can stretch it a little bit more. Now let's reverse directions. So now we're going counterclockwise. And now we're moving into threading the needle with a bind. This one is kind of nice to have a bolster for if you're not used to doing these deep twists. So you can have that ready. Otherwise, go ahead and take your left hand up toward the ceiling. Your gaze will follow that hand. And then exhale, you can come down. If you're using the bolster, then you can rest your shoulder directly on that bolster. So this is an option. And from here, you would take the right arm up and start to sweep it behind you. You can rest the hand on your back or start to reach for that inner thigh, your left thigh. Continue to deepen the twist. You're taking that right shoulder and pressing it up toward the ceiling. Remember, you can do this without the bolster underneath you too. That's just an option. One more deep breath. Continue to twist. Bring your gaze to the ceiling. And now inhale, take that bind, bring it up. Exhale as you press your palm into the ground to come up back to all fours. Now inhale, take the right arm up. Exhale, thread the needle. Now let's take the right arm all the way up toward the ceiling. Thread the needle. Rest on that right shoulder. Inhale, take the left arm up. Wrap it around your back. Same thing that we did on the previous side. And start to press the left shoulder back. Bring your gaze to the ceiling. If your right hand, which is extended on the floor next to you, is palm up, see if you can start to twist it down. That deepens the stretch. Nice deep breaths. Inhale, take that bind all the way up. Exhale, press it into your mat to come back to all fours. We're going to sink back so you're rested on your ankles. Walk the hands out in front of you for Utthana Marjarayasana. This is a outstretched cat pose. So it's like child pose, but we're going to keep it more active. We're going to press our palms into the mat. Press the mat away from you. Lengthen the spine. Start to walk the hands all the way over to your left. When you've reached your stopping place, then go ahead and place the right hand on top of your left hand. Now we're moving in the opposite direction. Place the left hand on top of your right hand. Let's come back to center. and then we'll sit up. Go ahead and face the center. We're gonna come into Tadasana or butterfly pose. So for this one, you want to make sure that you have a block available, maybe even 2 blocks. We're gonna press our feet together. You wanna have the outsides of your feet on the pinky toe edge together, but the rest of the feet can be splayed open like an open book. If you start to sink backwards, if you have a rounded lower back, that means that you need to get a little bit more height. Same thing if your knees are popping up like this, you want to have almost like a downward slope from where your hips are, or have them relatively level. And if not, get some height. It'll help. Otherwise, we're going to see if we can remain upright. We're going to root down through the sit bones, lengthen the spine, reach up through the crown of your head. You can place your hands on your feet and gently move the knees down to the sides. Let them come down naturally. Now to open up the hips a little bit more, which does help to alleviate lower back pain, you want to grab the hips and you're going to rock slightly forward. Doing this helps to break up the fascia on the outsides of the hips. Fascia is like scar tissue that builds up over time if you haven't been active in maintaining your flexibility, or if you work, a job where you're sitting at a desk or studying all day long while you're sitting down. This is a good thing to do, and you can do this while you're watching TV, reading a book. You sit on the ground and just do some butterfly pose. It's a little bit harder to rock when you're on the block, but do what you can. Just inhale, take the arms up toward the ceiling. Exhale, reach forward and come down, reaching the belly button down towards the ground. See if you can rest the forehead either on a block in front of you or on the ground. Continue to walk the fingertips forward slightly. Slowly come out of this by bringing the hands to the outsides of the knees, hug them in, and rock from side to side. Now we're going into Bhumanasana, or bow to the Mother Earth pose. You can widen your feet. And then place one hand in front of you, one hand behind. We're going to lift up and come forward. Do that one more time. One hand behind you, one hand in front. Lift up and come forward. Bring the hands in front. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, we're going to come down. When you've reached your stopping point, if you start to feel some tightness behind the knees, or it's a little bit too much for the groin, you stop right there. And then bring your hands in front of you and continue to walk them out. It's okay if you're largely upright. You're just going to continue incrementally getting that belly button down towards the ground while maintaining a straight spine. Slowly start to come up. We're going to grab underneath the knees this time, bring them in, rock from side to side. The counter pose for this is our upward facing plank. So you're going to start in Dandasana, which is staff pose. Count 1, 2 hand spaces behind you. You're going to keep the feet flexed, and then inhale here, exhale as you point the toes, lift the hips, bring the head back in line with the shoulders. If you start to sink the hips, press them up. One more breath. And exhale, we're going to release down. Next, we're going to be moving into Paschimottanasana. This is our forward fold. It's nice because it stretches the calves and it stretches the hamstrings. If those are tight, you're going to have back issues. So it's nice to have a strap handy, or those 2 socks that have been tied together, because you can use it to loop the strap over your feet and then bend the elbows so you don't have to come too far down. You don't want to overdo it. It's also nice for those who are a little bit more flexible to keep a couple blocks handy, because that can lengthen your arm span to deepen the stretch. With that said, let's bring the hands out to your sides. Keep the feet flexed back towards your head. We're going to inhale, reach up. You want the arms in line with your ears. Bring in the belly button back towards your spine. And exhale as you come forward. And then you can place your hands, interlace them around your feet. This is where you could grab that strap. Or as a final option, you can take one or both blocks in front of you, place them on your flexed feet, and continue to move forward and down. As you inhale, try to move that breath to all the places that are hurting. Exhale, you're releasing the pain. A lot of our pain is mental. It's also our body telling us, it's alerting us to danger that you might be overstretching. So if you know you're not, then see if you can bring your attention to those areas that are hurting and just tell your body it's okay. Release that tension. Go ahead and release the feet, your blocks, or your strap. We're going to inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, release down. Counter pose for this, again, is upward facing plank. So let's count 1, 2, hand spaces behind you. Keep the feet flexed. You can point the toes, lift up. Inhale and exhale. Keep lifting. Inhale and exhale. We're going to come all the way down. Now we're moving into Gomukhasana, or cow face pose. We are, let me face this way. I think it'll be better. Now we're moving into Gomukhasana, or cow face pose. This is named after a cow, obviously, and the reason for that is because the knees make the shape of the cow's lips, our chest is the cow's eyes, and then when we incorporate the arms are like the cow's horns or ears. So now you've seen it from the side, we're gonna warm up to get into this pose. We have a variation if this feels inaccessible to you. To start, let's go ahead and bring the left foot up in line with the right knee. You can use your strap, loop it around that front foot, or you can take your hands, interlace the hands, and bring it around that left foot. We're gonna inhale, exhale, go ahead and lift that foot up. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lift. So you can grab onto that left foot with your left hand, place your right hand on the side next to you, take your foot all the way out to your left side, and bring your gaze opposite. So you're going to be looking to your right. Inhale, come back to center. We're going to switch hands. And then cross the body, look opposite your foot. Now bend the knee. We're going to take that left foot, bring it to the inside of your right arm. You can wrap your arms around that bent leg, hug it into your chest. If your foot starts to fall, lift it up, squeeze it into your chest, and we'll rock from side to side. You might feel it on the outside of your hip here, and that's okay. If it's too intense, you can let your foot fall a little bit. So this is the tricky part. You're going to take that left foot, start to bring it to the outside of your right hip, and then you'll tuck in the right foot so that it's on the outside of your left hip. So you can stay here, or if that feels a little bit too intense, then instead you can come into what's known as the pinwheel or windmill pose. So you're going to have your right foot in front of you, and that shin is going to be parallel with the outer edge of your mat. You'll take the left knee, bring that to the inside of the foot, and we're going to lean forward like this. Otherwise, if you're with me in Gomukhasana, we're going to start to walk forward a little bit. If you're almost here in this pose and you just need a little bit more height, then grab a block. You can sit on that block and then come forward. Let's walk the hands back to center. Now go ahead and grab the strap, drape it over your left shoulder, and then you can grab the tail end with your right hand, and you're going to be pulling the strap in opposite directions. So you want to bring the elbows close to your spine and then pull your hands away from each other. That's one option. Another option is to hook the hands behind your back. And again, same thing. You're going to be pulling them away from each other. Deep breath. One more. And exhale. You can bring that hands down. Straight from this pose, we're going to move into pigeon pose. The way we do that is we start to rock over to your right hip, take that left leg, you're going to sweep it behind you, and I'll show you from the side. Once you're in Raja Kapotasana, that means king pigeon pose, we're going to start to come forward. You can rest your forehead on a block or rest your forehead on your stacked palms. If, again, this feels a little bit painful, you can take your block and then tuck that bent leg's hip right on top of that block, or you can use a bolster. Let's start to come up. Another option is to grab that back foot. Some people like to take that foot with both hands. You can use your strap. I actually like to go into, looks like a mermaid pose. So you're wrapping your arm around that back foot, and then you interlace the hands and bring your gaze to the front. It's a nice stretch for the quadriceps. Let's go ahead and release. To come out of this, you're going to rock over to that right hip, sweep the left foot in front. And then let's go ahead and bring both feet out to the front again. We're going to move to the other side. Now bring your right foot in line with that left knee. Interlace your hands or use your strap. Inhale here. Exhale, lift that leg up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. One more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Grab your right foot with your right hand. Start to bring it out to the side. Your left hand's going to stay on the mat. Bring your gaze over to your left. Sweep the leg in front of you. You're going to switch hands. Bring your gaze to the opposite side. Let's go ahead and bend that leg. Bring the right foot to the inside of the left elbow. Interlace your hands, squeeze the foot into your chest, and rock from side to side. And again, if that foot starts to lower, if that's all you can do, that's fine. You can lower it, that's okay. But eventually start to work that foot up so that it's more parallel to the ground. Squeeze it in and rock. Makes the stretch a little bit more intense. It does help, you'll feel it in your hip and probably the outside of your leg. Go ahead and drape that leg over your lap. Remember, you can always do the pinwheel pose instead. Take the left foot, tuck it in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach forward. Let's come down. We'll stay here for a few breaths. Start to come up. You can take your strap, drape it over your right shoulder, grab it, the tail end with your left hand. Bring the elbows in towards your midline and then away from each other. Alternatively, you can hook the hands. And same thing. Let's go ahead and release. Remember, with that top leg, you're going to start to sweep it around behind you. And again, I'll show you from the side. So we're taking that top leg, sweeping it around for our pigeon pose. Go ahead and bring your forehead over those stacked palms. You can rock from side to side here. Remember, you have the option of sitting on one of those blocks or on your bolster. Start to sit up. You can lift up that back leg, hook your elbow around, see if you can interlace the fingers, bring your gaze to the front. And let's release. Shift your weight to that bottom hip and then wrap the back leg right back in front. From here, we're going to come all the way down to the ground. We're going to go through Navasana or boat pose. Remember, we talked about strengthening the core to support your back. So the feet can be flat on the ground, they can be straight up. You're going to be in a V shape. Bring your head back so it's in line with your spine. This also puts extra weight on the upper abs. Inhale. Exhale, lower and hold. Inhale. Exhale. Go ahead. Exhale, lower and hold. Inhale. And exhale, we're going to lower all the way down. Let's go ahead and bring the knees into the chest. You can open the knees wide and then back to center. Bring them into the chest. Open, back to center. Let's go in the opposite direction. We're going to come into supine pigeon pose and Supta Raja Kapotasana. It's a mouthful. We're going to grab interlace the hands behind your right thigh. Go ahead and bring the legs into your chest. You can flex both feet. That brings the stretch into the calves. And you can even rotate the ankles while you're here. Let's go the opposite way. And then we'll switch sides. Keep the feet flexed. Bring it in. You can play around with this pose and start to push that right knee away from you. And that's the bent leg. And then rotate the ankles. And then the other way. And let's go ahead and straighten both legs all the way out. Stretch your arms up over your head. Inhale. And exhale, relax. We're going to bend that right knee now. You might want to have the strap handy for this one. We're going into Padangustasana. That means hand to the big toe pose. With this one, you can interlace the hands around the foot and then pull the foot back, or you can use your strap. Do the same thing. We're going to inhale, exhale. See if you can bring that foot back just a little bit more. And now we're going to play around with this one. So we want to press our foot into the strap or your hands. We're going to do that for 10 seconds, and then we'll release it and have it come back just a little bit more. So let's go ahead and press. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See if you can bring the foot back, even just a millimeter. If you can go a little bit further, great. We're going to do that again. Let's count. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that foot back just a little bit more. Deep breath. You can grab the big toe with your fingers, bring it all the way out to your right side. Your gaze will be opposite. You can do cactus arms. You can have the left arm straight out to your side. You want to try to keep both shoulders, both hips on the ground for this one. Slowly bring the foot back to center. We're going to switch hands and move to the other side. This time you can take that right hip up, but your shoulders should still stay on the ground. Go ahead and bring it all the way back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. You can rock from side to side. You can do little mini circles with your knees, first in one direction, then in the other direction. Extend that right leg all the way down. Take your left leg up. Same thing on this side. Go ahead and press your foot into your hand. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take it back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take it back. One more time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, take it back. Take that foot into your left hand now. Go ahead and bring it all the way down to your left side. Your gaze will be towards the right fingertips. Both hips, both shoulders are on the ground. Deep breath. And exhale. One more breath. And exhale. Slowly bring that leg all the way across your body. Opposite side. This time the left hip is going to come up, but both shoulders should stay on the ground. You can always prop a block up underneath the foot as you move it to the side if that helps you with this stretch. Otherwise, see if you can start to bring the foot up a little bit closer to your head each time you do this. Go ahead and come back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. Now let's start to get a little movement here. We're going to rock front to back until we're all the way up into seated position. Now we're moving into Supta Baddha Konasana. For this pose, you're going to need your bolster, possibly 2 blocks, and you'll need your strap. The strap isn't essential, so if you only have the socks that are tied together, it's okay to omit it. I like it because it takes some of the pressure off of your lower back. If you are using a strap, then create a large circle. You're going to place it over your torso. And then make sure that the metal piece is not cutting into your legs. You want to have it in the space where it's not rested on your skin. Bring your feet together and then loop that strap over your feet. You want to have the bottom edge of the strap on the top part of your hips, not on your back. And then you're going to tighten it. And it feels really tight when you're upright, but when you start to lay back, then it loosens that tension. Then take your blocks. You can place one flat and the other one on its side. Take the bolster. Make sure with the bolster, if you have a strap, that it's facing away from you so it's not cutting into your skin. It's a little more comfortable. And then scoop back so that you have your hips rested on the edge of the bolster. And we're slowly going to come down. Go ahead and grab your elbows, let them hang over your head. See if that feels okay for you. It opens the chest. It's like a mini back bend. you like, you can have your arms rest at the side too. This opens the chest a little bit more. And we can rest in Shavasana in this pose. If this is too intense for you, you can take off the strap, remove the bolster. You can have the legs straight in front of you and rest on the bolster that way for your Shavasana, or omit the bolster altogether and just lay on the ground. Sometimes with low back pain though, it is nice if you have your legs straight in front of you to have a bolster underneath your knees. You want bent knees, and that will take away some of the pressure. Let's go ahead and go into Shavasana. If you have decided to stay in this pose, you're going to soften the hips, feel them become heavy, allow the knees to fall out to the sides. Palms are up facing the sky. You're feeling the natural rhythm of your breath. Feeling the results physically and mentally of what you did today in your yoga practice. Be grateful for yourself taking the time to do something that will benefit your back. Begin to clear the mind of any extra thoughts. If you start to feel that mental chatter come back up, release it with each exhale, and then bring your thoughts back to the sensations in your body. Feel free to pause the video here, and you can stay here for 15 minutes or so. But that concludes our session today. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check the link below, subscribe, and check out the Yoga Plus app to see more of my videos. See you next time.
Welcome to Yoga Plus. Courses available from pupil to yogi. Sort by yoga, fitness, and instructors. Create your own routines. Access the pose library. Yoga Plus by Psyche Truth, available on Google Play and the App Store.
Join us for 14 and 30-day programs, hour-long classes, and much more on our yoga app, Yoga Plus by Psyche Truth. It's free to download and features a variety of wellness content, including yoga, fitness, Pilates, guided meditations, and interviews with dozens of wellness experts.